So you'll need your iPad. And so what you're going to need to do first is go in and download the app for Doceri. And the best way to and fastest way to do that is to go through your self-service. So then you'll go through your self-service and look up Doceri. And it is a blue background with a white hand pointing at it, and it's called Doceri Interactive Whiteboards. So it's all of it. DOCERI Interactive Whiteboard, and that's what it looks like. Okay, so I'm going to download it on my iPad, and then what I'm going to do is I have to parallel that to my desktop. So I'm going to do the exact same thing, but I'm going to come down here just to search because it's already installed on all district PCs. So I'm just going to come here and search and type in Doceri. And then you'll see it looks almost like the exact thing. It's the hand, but it's green this time. It's the exact same thing. So I'm going to run this app. And now I've installed it on my iPad and I have it running on my app. So I have both. So I'm going to go ahead and run on my iPad. And while I'm running on my iPad, I need to, yes, allow the microphone, yes, allow video, yes, allow pictures. I need to make sure I'm okay in anything it's asking me to. If it does ask to track other apps, you do not have to do that. You can just say no. The only things you should have to allow it is microphone, picture, and video, okay? So a little intro video pops up. I'm just going to click out of it since we're doing it together. On my desktop, I need to accept the license agreement, and I need to set a password. Now, for the sake of whatever it is, I'm just going to pick something and write it down for you. So now I have a QR code. How I use the QR code is through the app. I'm going to click where it says through a computer, and a camera will pop up so I can scan it. Remember to click OK. And then you're going to see, I'm going to scan the QR code. I have to, once I scan the QR code, I have to type in the password that I set up on my desktop, and now I'm connected. So you can see that my iPad and my desktop are exactly mirrored. So if I touch here, you'll be able to see exactly what's happening on my desktop. The exact same things are happening on the desktop. Okay, so I can use my finger just like a mouse. I can zoom in to be more particular, so I can still do the same thing. When I zoom in on an iPad, it does not zoom in on the desktop. This is just for me to be able to see things more clear. If I want to use the keyboard, all I do is use the keyboard function at the top. A keyboard will pop up on my iPad screen, and it will immediately correlate to what's happening on the screen. So if I start typing in OIP should be popping up on here. So this is now a Bluetooth keyboard to use for that. Now let's say I have pulled something up, I have some sort of document I want to use, or I have taken a picture with the iPad of work, a blank template, a worksheet, anything. I can put pictures that I take with my iPad up. I can use pictures that I screenshot on here up, and I can turn them into workable worksheets. So for instance, let's say I want to take a picture. So I'm going to get out of Doceri, and I'm going to take a screenshot of, I'm just going to use your STEM instructions as an example. So I'm going to take a picture with the camera app, the regular camera app, of the activity I want projected, I want to see. Okay, I took a picture, and I'm going to go back into Doceri, and I'm going to hit, there is an icon at the top. You have two icons. You have one that's a pencil and one that is a square and a pencil. at the very, very top. I know you guys can't see it back there right now. So I'm going to click the one that is a square with a pencil to input a picture that I want. When I click that, I can pick whiteboard, I can pick graph paper. So let me just show you some of those examples. I'm going to pick whiteboard. Immediately my TV turns into a whiteboard. And I can walk around my room with my iPad in my hand, draw, and it immediately shows up for my kids to see. I can even hand this to a kid after I've written out a problem, 2 plus 2 equals what? I can zoom in on it for them to work on. They can show their work, and they're all excited because they just got to draw immediately to the board. Okay. Another option you have is graph paper. Now notice the background changed, but the writing did not. All I have to do is click the windshield wiper at the top and wipe away everything. The background will change, what's on top will not. That can be helpful sometimes, that can be annoying sometimes. Sometimes what you may also want to do is add a page so you can go back and forth to what you're working on. So let's say that I want to add a page. I'm working on multiple things. I want to be able to go back to my previous work here. I'm working hard on something. I just want to show them an example of something else and come back without erasing all my work. There is an arrow button in the top left. I can click that. And now I have a new page, and you can tell it says that because now it says 2 of 2 instead of 1 of 1. So now, and I can hit that as many times as I want, and that will completely add pages. So if I'm working on something, I'm like, oh no, I need to go back to that previous one. I'm just going to click the back arrow, and now I can go back to the previous page. Or, oh, you need to see that example one more time again? That's fine. Let me go back to the other page. And I can add as many as I want. And you can see the page count change at the top. Okay. Now, I want to go back to that picture I just took. I want to be able to throw that up there, write on it. Maybe it's a picture of a reading passage, and I want to show how I chunk it, write, make notes, that kind of thing. So at the very top, after I'm in here, I'm going to click the picture and icon. It's the classic one that looks like a mountain with the sun in the background. So I click that, and my photo library pops up. I'm going to click photo library, and now all of my pictures have popped up, including the one I just took. So it shows up for me. It's showing up for me right now. I'm going to click out of it once I'm happy with how it looks, and now it's posted for my class. So I can see here now that it's posted for my class. And let's say I really need them to focus. You guys, when I say a yardstick, that is not a ruler. That's not the same thing. So do not come to me with regular rulers. I need you all to make that note right now. So I can write on here and they'll immediately see it. I'm doing math worksheet. I'm doing science example. I want to take one picture of my science notebook and use that as a background every single time we use it instead of having to draw one myself and have so I can have digital copies of every single one of my scientific notebooks because I've taken a background picture of just an open journal and I can edit it every single time. Now let's say I wanted to take a screenshot of something on here. So let's say I'm going to get out of this now. There's a lit up blue pencil. All I do is click the blue pencil and now I'm back to my screen. Now let's say Miss Escobar was working on something and she's like, oh, I really wanted to write on this. So I'm like typing, right? So she's working really hard on this slide. So I'm going to present this slide, but I want to be able to write on this right now. I am going to click the edit button, just the pencil, not the picture pencil, just the pencil. You have two options. So once I click the picture pencil, this turns now into an editable worksheet. So I no longer have to make every single thing markable and editable for me as a teacher. I can just prep my slide, hit that blue edit button, and now everything is an editable worksheet for me. And if I want to save it, all I have to do is screenshot the iPad, save it for later.
Can you go back and forth from there to the presentation? Or
Yes, you
yeah?
can. So let's say that I want to go back and forth from this slide that I'm working on to the actual PowerPoint slide. I'm going to, again, get out of it by clicking the blue square editing button up at the top. And you can see here now I have an option that says resume. That means that I can now come back. I can click. So like this is the actual computer. So I can actually just click next, click next. Like I can do click next, click next. Oh, let's watch the video. Okay, great job, kids. We watched the video. Yay. All right. Now I'm just, if I want to edit this next slide, I just repeat the process. I click the pencil, not the picture in pencil, the pencil. And now this becomes its own editable slide. And I can do it again. All right, we're done here. I'm going to get out of it with the blue button. Let's go on to the next slide. All right, and I'm going to start the whole process over. Remember that the picture in pencil is when I want to throw something up. The regular pencil is when I want to edit what's on the screen. So those are the two options that you're going to have. And I can't be in either of those modes if I want to use the keyboard. The keyboard is only if I'm using it like an actual computer from my iPad.